As I was reading these verses from Psalm 62 and looking over that psalm as a whole, it made me think of the situation that the entire world is in right now with COVID-19 and how specifically some celebrities are handling it. How they're handling it is they're hitting social media. Now, that's not different. They have always hit social media, but some celebrities are hitting it differently. And I'll just give you two examples. One of them is Jimmy Fallon. Right away when COVID-19 happened and things were being shut down, he moved his show to his home. The Tonight Show was filmed at his home, which is a safe place for him, which means he was being very vulnerable with his audience, allowing them to see and hear from his wife, to see and hear from his kids. And I've loved it, and America has loved it. Another example is Kristen Bell. She is the actress on The Good Place. And recently she did an interview and she outright admitted that her and her husband and her kids, they're not doing well during COVID-19. There's a lot of too much time together. She's also shown some pictures of how they're passing the time as a family, her and her husband getting facials together and then showing herself with no makeup, exposed, vulnerable, real. And that's what I see happening with David in this psalm, Psalm 62. You got to understand, he is king of Israel. He is at the celebrity status level. And what he wants to show his people is vulnerability, is rawness. There's just raw emotion in this psalm. He describes himself as a tottering wall. If he just gets a little bit of a nudge, he's just going to fall down. There's no makeup. There's no cover-up. And yet, he wants them to know, because they're probably in similar situations, that he has some major certainties. He says, my hope comes from God. He says, I take refuge in God. And then he invites his people to follow his leadership, to trust in God. It got me thinking about us, the church today, and how often we try to communicate to people, it's okay. Everything's okay. It's all well in my life, when it's not. We tend to put on the makeup. We tend to put on the cover-up instead of expressing with raw, real emotions where we're at. In the resource that we're using as a guide for these WADs is The Daily Office by Peter Scazzero. And in this section, he quotes Dan Allender and Tremper Longman in their book, The Cry of the Soul. And I just want to read a little bit with you. They say there, ignoring our emotions is turning our back on reality. Listening to our emotions ushers us into reality. We forget that change comes through brutal honesty and vulnerability before God. I love that. And the reason we're tying this spiritual workout to physical workouts, that imagery, is because we want change when we work out our bodies, right? We want to be healthier. We want physical change, and that takes brutal workouts sometimes. And what we're calling you to do today here is to go through the brutal workout of being honest before God. And there's reasons you can do that. It's because you can hope in him. Because of Jesus Christ, there is not just a wish that we're saved and in a relationship with God. It is a certainty. That's hope. And it's in the one that no one or nothing can change. We can also do this because he's safe. We can take refuge in him. That's the imagery of a refuge. It's safety. We're not going to be judged by God because Jesus Christ has already been judged for us on the cross. And now what we have is this safe place to be real with God, because nothing in all creation can separate us from his love. And so today I invite you to be brutally honest about where you're at today in your trouble, and to turn to him. Put your trust in him, and allow for that gospel change to take place.